Okay, it is time to see if this guitar, Ratchia, can change my mind about PRS. Now, I've owned quite a few PRS over the years, but I have ended up selling all of them. My personal favorites were the CE24, which did have a maple neck like this one, but a rosewood board, and then the DGT, which is an incredible guitar. None of these PRS were bad, they just ended up on the chopping block because I wanted something different or something else. So recently, I got to see Mark Lettieri live, and just, what an incredible musician. And I've met Mark a couple of times real briefly. He probably wouldn't remember me if he saw me, but he always seems like such a cool dude. And he was playing this guitar, which is his signature PRS, the Fiore. I think I'm saying that right. And I was just kind of amazed by the array of tones that he was getting, and it really didn't look like he was like, you know, changing a bunch of pedals or anything. And I was like, man, I think I'd like to try one of those. And come to find out, he has changed quite a few things that I think I'll like more on this guitar than I have other PRS. So I reached out to the awesome people over at Sweetwater and asked if I could check one of these out to do a demo on, and they nicely sent one out to me. They're sponsoring today's video, so huge thank you to Sweetwater. And I'm gonna tell you guys all about this guitar. A lot of pros, just a couple cons that really weren't the thing for me personally, but again, this is Mark's signature guitar, not my signature guitar. So anyways, let's give you guys some tones and we'll get into it. Okay, so let's talk about some specs. So this is the Mark Lettieri signature Fiore from PRS, and it's got a lot of really cool stuff. The two biggest pros that I can say about this guitar, and one of them is being this cutaway right here. Typically, if I play down here, like if I'm playing A, even do my pentatonic box, this part of my hand hits right in here like on a normal Strat or something like that, and it always kind of makes me shift my hand weird. I really like this cutaway. So that might not seem like such a big deal to some people, but I actually noticed it right away when I went to play up here. That repeating lick. I was like, hey, look, my hand doesn't hit down here. So I liked that right away. The next thing would be that this is a normal Fender scale length guitar. It's 25.5. Typically PRS are 25. I like that. I think that part of the snappiness of single coils really comes from the scale length. So this has 10 gauge strings on it. I would probably drop them down to 9.5s, or maybe probably 9.5s. It just feels a tiny bit stiff. Other than that, you've got a swamp ash body. You have a maple neck. Now it's a two-piece neck, so you've got the neck and then a maple fretboard glued on. Now the pickups are the only con that I have on the guitar. The single coils I absolutely love. I think that they sounded phenomenal. I loved how chimey they could get, even with all that chorus and everything, and I'll give you tones that aren't all like schmooed out. But there's this little jangle that's in there that I don't hear in all single coils. This one has it, so I really like that. The humbucker on the other side, I personally didn't really care for. The only way I can describe it is that it feels like it's very, not direct, it's just like in your face. You know, now it has a really good coil split, so you can split that, and I like it split more. I use the guitar way more with the humbucker split than in actual humbucker mode. And it just kind of goes like this, like you have your sound right here, and then all of a sudden it's out here, and that's the way I like my guitars to be. I don't like whenever they're right in your face, you know. I don't know if it's the mid-range or whatever I'm hearing. That was my only complaint about the guitar. Everything else was phenomenal. A 2-point tremolo system, you guys always hear me say that. I like 2-point way more than the 6-screw. So anyways, there's some specs for you. You can check out all the stuff linked down below, of course, and let's get to the tones. So to answer my question, does this change my mind about PRS? Totally. I think that the tones that were available on this guitar were the most versatile of any PRS I've played. There was really nothing that I was like trying to get when I was recording the song or playing that I was like, man, I wish I had this. It was just all kind of there. And the single coils sound fantastic. These are such good sounding pickups. So totally, you know, if PRS has never really been your thing, give one of these a shot and tell me what you think, because definitely a whole different vibe from the standard PRS stuff. So check them out. All right, so there you guys have it. What did you think of all the tones? I thought that this is just a really versatile guitar. I'm totally in love with this whole HSS setup. I mean, you've probably seen me demo a bunch of Super Strats here. It's just, this is my sound, like this pickup setup. This guitar is really interesting because it's not like a Super Strat. I'd say it's a little bit more versatile than that, actually. The way the voicing of everything is, it allows you to do a little bit more, but, you know, and you kind of look at it and you're like, well, what style would you play on this? You play anything on it. That's the best part about it. So other than that, super cool guitar. I would totally recommend you check these out. If you've kind of written off PRS, try one of these out. It does not feel like a normal PRS, and has some uniqueness to it too. So other than that, thank you all so much for checking the video out. Thanks to Sweetwater for sponsoring it, and I will see you all later. Bye, homies.